Hi you all and welcome to Draw Along with me. Today we will be designing this super cute bumblebee carrying a flower and going for a picnic in a mushroom village. Grab your iPad and your Apple Pencil and draw along with me. Click on the plus symbol in the top right corner. Select screen size or create your own canvas. I will be using screen size. Click on the brush tool and in the options to the left find sketching. In the options to the right, choose the pencil you'd like to sketch with. I will be using 6B pencil. Over here, make sure that your opacity says 100 and choose your brush size. If the color circle is something other than white, test the size of the brush to make sure you like it. I might make mine a little smaller than that. And use the undo arrow and the redo arrow whenever you need to. You can also redo with a 3-finger tap on the screen. It's a quick tap, not a hold, or undo with a 2-finger tap on the screen. Quick tap, not hold. Click on the color circle in the top right corner. You can use the circle, which is disc, or the square, which is classic. This is my preference. Choose any color that you would like to sketch with. Keep in mind that this color will not be in your final drawing, so choose anything that you would like, and let's keep going. Let's start with the sketch for the bumblebee. For my bumblebee, it's going to have a kind of like egg-shaped body. Later on, when we do the actual drawing, I will add lots of additional details like fuzz and all of that kind of thing. But for now, we can keep it super simple with just like an egg shape or whatever shape you would like for your bumblebee's body. And I will keep in mind that I plan to make this the colors. So for now, again, it looks like an egg, but we will change this later when we get to the line work stage. All right, once you have that, let's go ahead and put down the legs. So I'm going to use little stick legs for now, but later on when we are doing the line work, I will make them much, much nicer. Next, let's sketch in the eyes. So you can make one eye big and one eye small if you like, but you don't have to do that. And later on, we'll add the pupils and all the details. So just for now, something like this. Sketch in the antennas. Sketch in the arm that is holding the flower. And later on, when we go to do all the extra little details, I'll add little bumps and stuff inside the flower center. But for now, keeping it super simple. Making these kind of oval shapes to show basically where I'd like the flower to be. Press and hold the eraser to get the same brush if you prefer, and take out any lines as we go that you do not like for your illustration. Click back on the brush tool to continue working with it. So mine is going to have 6 arms or legs, whatever you prefer to call them, in total, with little cartoon hands. Again, I'm keeping it simple with basic lines for now, but when we go to add details later, I'll make them thicker, more 3D. And this arm is just going to be hanging back here. Now during the details, I will definitely make sure that the hands are all about the same size. My little bumblebee has this little strap for the backpack. Oops, undo when you don't like something and just try again. And as we go, clean up any lines that you think will become a problem when we go to trace later. So I want to make sure I don't put the bumblebee's fuzz through that strap. Make sure you're back on the brush tool if you use the eraser tool at any time. Draw in the shape for the wing, how you'd like it to be. And next we'll put in the backpack. So my backpack is going to be like a wicker basket kind of vibe when we go to do those details, but for now it's going to be a simple box basically. Next, fill your backpack with what you'd like. So mine's going to have basically like a honey jar and one of those little stir sticks that go in honey containers. So this is going to be the fabric under the lid of the jar, and the top of the jar will be kind of an oval shape. Next, I will put in that sort of spiral stick that goes in with the honey. And of course, the honey inside the jar, sort of sloshing around, just a little bit. Great, this is everything for the basic sketch for the bee. Use the arrow, zoom out with a 2-finger pinch if you need to. Use the arrow on uniform to make the bee bigger or smaller at this time. I do think mine will be a bit smaller. You can place it where you think you'd like it to be. Maybe a bit bigger than that, I guess. So for mine, it will be on a path that's sort of winding this way, and there will be a little mushroom house right here. So I think that this is about right for my placement, and I'll move it if I need to again later. Click on the 2 squares button, that's your layers panel. Plus symbol to add a new layer 2. Press so this jumps up into the air, just a little bit like that. And then you can carry it out and down to be under layer 1. If it accidentally gets into layer 1 and creates a group, just undo and try it again. Here on layer 2, let's begin to sketch in the background. You can change your color if you'd like to for this part. Undo, make sure you still have layer 2, and draw in the pieces that you'd like for yours. So again, mine's just going to have this winding path through here, a little smaller at the end. And we will erase behind the bee in a little bit, but let's make sure that we like the placement of all the elements first. So now over here, I'll start, I think, with the mushroom top. That way I hopefully get it to where I'd like it to be before I begin to add the base and the details. So it's just going to be like a bit of an oval. And then underneath here, I'm going to make it kind of like rounded. From here, I think I will change that just a little bit, make it a little bit more straight. I think it'll hopefully look better that way. So from here, you can add the pieces that you think you'd like for the door, the maybe light at the top there, maybe the window. Keep it super simple for now though, don't get overly committed to anything, and we will keep going in just a minute. So I do think a little window like that, and a little mailbox. And there's probably going to be like a path right here. So a little mailbox here should be good for mine. We'll make that shape a little bit better when we go to do the lines. But for now, it's okay. You could do stars or ovals or circles, whatever you'd like for the top of the mushroom, or you could leave it plain if you prefer. Now back here, I'd like to make big leaves to show the scale of my little bee a little bit better. And I might move the bee again before we continue. Here in the front, I'm probably just going to do some little like flower type shapes. You could leave it empty if you prefer, but I think I'd like something right there. Right now, while it's still in this stage, we can use the magic wand with liquify and this push. You'll have to change the brush size though. If it's too big, it will warp everything. But use this wherever you'd like to kind of push the pieces to maybe make your shapes more what you're envisioning for your piece. I think I'd like the path just a little higher, perhaps. Maybe here, a little lower. Oops, didn't want to move the mushroom house, so I'll try that again with a smaller brush. Now, I do think my bee isn't quite right for the size now. I would like it to be a little bigger. I think that this for me is like a little ant's house. So my bee, I will make a little bigger. If you want to do the same, go to layer 1, use the arrow on uniform. You can make it bigger or smaller depending on what you like for your piece. And if there's anything you want to liquefy with your bee, go for it. I think I'll tilt my bee a little bit with this green bar here. Maybe a little smaller right there. Okay, I think it might be exactly where I started, but I do like this tilt a little bit better. Let's go back from the 2 squares button, that's your layers panel, go back to layer 2. Here with layer 2, use your eraser to take out anything that shouldn't be there now. So I think this will get taken out later, but I don't need to erase that because there's nothing there. Here though, this leaf is behind my flower. I just want to make sure when I go to trace, it's not going to be accidentally included. Also, when I say trace, it's not going to be traced exactly. We're going to try to add some extra details as we go. Okay, I think I'm ready, and you can pause the video if you need to, but if you're ready as well, click on the layers panel, the 2 squares button. Use your 2-finger pinch to merge these two together, like this. If that doesn't work for you though, you can tap on layer 1, tap it again, and say merge down. You can tap on this and rename it Sketch if you prefer. You do not have to do this, it's just an extra step. And that way you'll be able to read your layers well. Click on the capital N for normal. Ignore all the blending modes. Instead, drag the blue opacity bar down to where you can see your lines, but you're going to be able to make your other lines, your new nicer lines on top of this, way easier. Tap on the layer to get out of that, plus symbol to add a new layer. Click on the brush tool. Click it again if you need to. In the options to the left, find inking. In the options to the right, find technical pen. Make sure your opacity is at 100. Choose the brush size you're comfortable with. I'll start with this 24, but I might change it as we go. Click on the color circle and select a color that you'd like for your outlines. This almost black navy color is fine for me. All right, here we are going to create the line work for this illustration. So here is where we're going to make our lines as nicely as we can, including any extra details that we'd like to add, like I'm going to add the fuzz for the bumblebee on its body. You can add clothes or a little hat if you like. You can add little extra characters or stones or a river, basically anything that you prefer for this. And since we'll be adding basically anything that we'd like, there's not a lot of explaining I will be doing for this next part. But I just want to make sure that if you'd like to use the drag and drop coloring method, which is what I will be using later, that your lines are going to work for that. So I'll just give a quick example here. If you are doing your lines, make sure that you have closed shapes. so that you can drag and drop the color later. If there are any holes and you drag the color in that space and it spills all over, it's okay. Just undo, find the hole, color it in, drag and drop. I'm going to undo this and I'll zoom back out. Make sure that you're still on layer 2. If you'd like to, you can rename this one line work. Change the brush size as you need to, but otherwise have fun with this part and I'll see you on the other side. All right, you guys, awesome job with this. Let's set up to start coloring. Click on the Layers panel, the two squares button. Here you see the check marks on the right side. Click on the check mark for your sketch. Check your line work and see if there's anything you need to fill in now. I just found this little gap right here and this little mark. All right, you have many different options. One option is that you could add a layer underneath your line work and paint everything manually. Today I will be using the drag and drop method of coloring. In order to keep it separate from the line work though, I will click here on the sketch plus symbol to add a layer. Tapping here, I will rename it color. If I try to drag and drop at this point, it's just going to spill all over the canvas. If you're using the same method, tap on the line work layer, tap it again, and select Reference from the options to the left. Now everything will refer to the line work. Tap back on Color. Okay, so I will demonstrate how to drag and drop, and then I will color mine, and you should color yours. I will be saving my colors in case anyone would like to use my color palette, but you should feel free to choose your own color palette and have fun. Here I've selected blue and I will just drag it to the flower petals. Drag, drop. I can undo, I can redo. I'll undo again and show you your color drop threshold. Drag the color above the shape. If you hold the pencil down, you'll see threshold. So sometimes it's going outside, and that's because the threshold might be too high. I'll undo and show you how to fix that. Drag the color above that space, and it will spill out like this, just like before. Wait until you see threshold and push it to the left. Now just the opposite. So if the color drop threshold is too low, you're going to see this funny white edge on the inside of everything you do, and it's a little bit, it looks cool right now, but sometimes you just don't want that. So I'll undo and show you how to fix that. So again, drag the color above the space, wait, you'll see threshold right here, push it to the right. All right, one thing I did forget to mention is that if you drag, for example, I'll use green this time to demonstrate. If you drag green here and you think, oops, if you drag green here and you think to yourself, I want it to go everywhere else, okay, while it's still popping up here in the middle, you'll have to tap that button. So drag it first. Here there's continue filling, tap that, and now you can basically stamp anywhere that's going to be the same color. All right, go ahead and get started and have fun with it. All right, great job with this, you all. Let's keep going. All right, you all, if you'd like to, you can absolutely stop right here. It is looking super cute, but the colors are still a little bit flat. So if you'd like to add some shading, follow along with me. Click on the Layers panel, plus symbol to add a new layer. Tap here, rename shading. Click on the color circle, choose a color you'd like to make your shadows with. Tap on the Layers panel, click on this capital N and select either Multiply or Linear Burn. I do suggest lowering the opacity to something like 40, but you'll have to tinker with this and see what you like. All right, that's looking a bit green on mine, so I'll try my color a little bit differently and see what I like, and you should do the same. Maybe I'll go up to 55. I think I'll try the purple spectrum next. And darker. Oh, I like that a little better. So it looks like I will be using a kind of purple color for my shadows. Definitely see what looks best on yours. All right. Reference is still on, and this will make it tricky to do drag and drop coloring for this part of the process. So tap on line work, tap it again, find the check mark, and turn off reference. Make sure you're on shading. Again, you'll have to make closed shapes. I'll go ahead and show you with the side of this leaf. So like if I draw from here all the way up without lifting the pencil, I now should have a closed shape to drag and drop the color in. And I will definitely lower the opacity here. So definitely try out different things and see what looks best for yours. All right, good luck and have fun. If you'd like to, you can add another layer for highlights, but honestly, I think that I've got enough going on here, so I'm going to stop at this point. Feel free to add anything else that you like. Thank you so much for joining me today to design this super cute illustration in the Procreate app for iPad. I hope you had fun. See you next time!